Greetings, beautiful people. It's your girl Claudie from cookiewithclaudie.com. Let's make the best ever super tasty Banga soup like a pro. Trust me, whenever you try this recipe, it's gonna hit the spot. So let us jump right into the ingredients. Start by adding some broth inside a pot. My broth already has salt and seasoning powder, so I will not be needing salt and seasoning powder anymore. Bring that to a boil, and at this point we're going to bring in some coarsely blended peppers and onion. I'm just putting that one for flavor. It gives your Banga soup a really good flavor. You do not need tomatoes in Banga soup. Now I'll bring my Banga or the palm nut concentrate. I'm using 800 grams, that's 1 can. You can get this concentrate from any African grocery store. Now I'll put that inside my pot and I'll bring that to a boil as well.
Cooking with Claudie, cooking with Claudie, easy simple recipe. Cooking with Claudie, cooking with Claudie, easy simple recipe.
So for more of the ingredients to follow, I will be adding in some pre-case or some Asian fruit. You do not need to grind or blend that, okay? Put it whole. You can just cut it. And I have my Banga spice here. You can get it also from your local grocery market. Crayfish. I have some Banga leaves. You can use scent leaves as well. And I have some hot pepper powder. Go ahead and give that another go stir, and you want to bring that to a boil until the oil from the palm nut floats to the top before we're going to bring in our seafood. As you can see, I changed my pot because the other pot was too big and deep, so I did something shallow. Now that has been boiling, you see the oil flows. You can now bring in your seafood. The shrimp and my catfish has been perfectly washed. You can use periwinkles, you can use smoked fish, whatsoever. But trust me, I do not eat periwinkles. So yeah, I'm not gonna be using that. Now at this point, I'm just gonna cover so my fish and everything cooks in there. Then after some time, everything has been cooked. It is ready to serve right away. You can taste to adjust any seasonings. Like I told you from before, I will not be adding some salt and seasoning powder because my stock already has that. So you can just taste to adjust anything you need to add. So now go ahead and serve this right away. So I want to know in the comment section what you would like to serve with yours. I served mine with rice. Yeah. And the next day I served it with fufu. So the soup took me for 2 whole days. Yeah. And guys, this is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Until we meet again, thank you so much and stay safe. This vegetable soup is loaded, very healthy, quick to make, and guess what? Super savory and inviting. Keep watching. Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back to my kitchen, and thank you so much for tuning in. It's your girl Claudie, and today I will be showing you how to make the most tastiest ever vegetable soup, a staple in the Nigerian cuisine. This is called Edikang Ikong soup. So delicious. If you are new here, please subscribe, like, and share this video. To jump right into the list of ingredients, right here in my pot I already have some cow skin. Now I'll bring in some goat meat. You can use beef as well. I have some tripe, so I'll go ahead to season this with some salt and seasoning powder, and we're going to add some water inside and let it cook until it is tender. I will also be using some smoked fish, but I will not add that in now because I don't want it to overcook. I'll bring it when my fish is almost tender, because I'll bring it when my meats are almost tender because the fish is like a little bit soft, so I don't want it to overcook. So now after seasoning with some salt and seasoning powder, you're going to add in some water, cover the pot and let it cook until it is tender.
Cooking with Claudie, easy easy simple recipe. Cooking with Claudie.
So guys, for the water you need for this recipe, you have to be adding water as needed, but make sure you just use your best judgment to know when the water is going to dry off, or maybe you need a little bit of the stock because our spinach is going to emit a lot of water. So now I'm using 2 bunch of spinach. I'll go ahead to slice this accordingly. Keep watching ahead because I will be showing most of the ingredients as I go. Right now I'll go ahead and wash this perfectly.
Cooking with Claudie. Cooking with Claudie. Easy simple recipe. Cooking with Claudie. Cooking with Claudie. Easy simple recipe. African, Asian, American and worldwide recipes. Pastries and bakes. African, Asian, American and worldwide recipes.
I'll set the spinach aside and I'll bring in my smoked fish at this point. And since my fish is not that hard, I'm not gonna cook it for long. I'll just cook it for about 3 to 5 minutes, okay? And I'll wait for some of that water in there to dry off as well. This is looking so good. Our spinach is gonna come in at this point, and my pot was a little bit small right here, so I'll just go ahead to change the pot. So after changing my pot, you want to make sure the spinach starts releasing some water. And guys, for this recipe you can adjust the water if you want. If you want it to have a lot of water inside, like more of the soup, or let me say gravy, you can add more water or stock, okay? Now our squeezed pumpkin leaves, that's the ugu leaves, and I'm using the like pre-frozen. It has been thawed. I just squeezed off excess water from it. If you're using fresh, you can go ahead and put it at this point as well. Give that a good stir, and the next ingredients to come in is going to be our crayfish and some salt and seasoning powder. Make sure you give that a good stir as well. When I give that a stir, I will now bring in my palm oil. For the palm oil, you can use any amount you want, but for the detailed recipe, please make sure you check the description box, okay? So for my Cameroonian family, this is almost similar to the way we make riro, but trust me, oh my god, this soup is so good. Actually, my Nigerian friend taught me how to make this soup the first day I tasted it in her home. Oh my god, in fact, this recipe is right now in my repertoire, okay? So give that a good stir and let it simmer for about 5 minutes until everything cooks through. So at this point, you want to make sure you taste to adjust any seasonings, okay? And this has been cooked to perfection, guys. This recipe can also be a plan ahead, okay? You can boil your meat the day before and use any meat of your choice. It is so flavorful. Now go ahead and serve this with any side of your choice. I will be serving mine with some gari or eba, guys. If you get to try this recipe, please come back and let me know how it turned out. And if you do have any questions, please drop it in the comment section and I'm going to reply to you as soon as possible. So now you just watch me as I'm going to enjoy my soup. This is so good, guys. I could not resist it. You should definitely save this recipe because you're gonna love it just as I do. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all the love, the support, the likes, the comments. We've gone so far, guys. I really appreciate you all. And don't forget to check the description box, okay? And I will drop the link for you to get the detailed recipe and instructions. Until we meet again in my next video. Bye for now, and I love you all. Hello beautiful people, it's your girl Claudie from cookingwithclaudie.com. Today I'll be showing you how to make very delicious Ogbono soup with a little bit of twist, yes, with a little bit of okra. So to start off, here are our ingredients. I'll be using some smoked mackerel. That's home smoked. I personally smoked that. And right here I'll be using some cow feet. You can use any proteins of your choice. Okay, I have some onion, beef, salt, and seasoning powder. So I'll be using those seasonings to boil my beef with and the cow feet. So in a pot I will add my meat and boil them until it is tender. Now I'll season with some seasoning powder. Using a chopper, I'll go ahead to add some okra inside. So my other Ogbono video, I did not add okra inside. I just want to show you another method, like to add a little bit of okra inside. Not too much though, just a little bit, okay? You don't need a lot of it. So when it has been chopped like this, now let us check on our meats. It has been fully cooked. So make sure you want to have some stock or some beef broth in there, because you will need the broth to make the soup, okay? So that is looking so good. You can see that it is so tender and it is ready for the rest of the ingredients to come in. Right now I'll add in some of the stock inside my Ogbono. That's a ground Ogbono. This is a different method, okay? I know some of you are already used to the method where you add the oil inside the Ogbono, but like I said, that was in my other Ogbono video. I'll show you a different way or a new way. So yeah, now I'll now add in my mixed Ogbono inside and stir until everything is well combined. Now I'll bring in my okra. So guys, there are different or many ways to make Ogbono soup, okay? Because I know some people are gonna be like, this is not how they make Ogbono soup. The way you think I was gonna make it is in my other video, all right? I'll now add in some crayfish, ginger and garlic paste. I have some bitter leaves here. You can use any leafy greens of your choice. I just love a little bit of the bitterness with Ogbono, if you know what I mean. If you have never ever tried like bitter leaves in your okra soup or Ogbono soup, you should definitely give it a try. Now I'll add in my palm oil and I'll mix everything so it fully cooks. So now I'll put in some scotch bonnets and smoked fish. I will not be grinding my scotch bonnets because I want to control the spicy level of the food, because my kids have to eat it. So I'm not going to press the pepper or ground the pepper. Everything simmer for about 3 minutes and your soup is ready to be served. Let me know in the comment section what you would like to serve with this delicious soup, okay? And if you want to get the recipe, please check the comment section and I will drop it there. Until we meet again in my next video, bye for now and stay safe. Hello beautiful people, how is it going? Your girl Claudie is right here, and today I will be showing you how to make the best, most perfect, authentic Cameroonian riro with spinach the diaspora way, and how to make it green, and important tips of how to make it green. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. Trust me, you're gonna love everything I drop on here. And guys, in this recipe, it was highly requested, so I decided to drop it. First off, in my pot here, I will start off by boiling my proteins. My first protein to come in is gonna be the tripe. I know some of you are wondering like, why is it so white like this? Yeah, if you are in diaspora, like, you're gonna be used to seeing this kind of tripe at the grocery store. So the next to come in is my cow skin. I will just bring it in perfectly washed. We call it kanda in Cameroon. Nigerians call it pomo. So just bring that in. So guys, you must not use the same proteins I'm using, right? Use any proteins of your choice. Now my beef comes in perfectly washed. Now combine everything. You want to make sure you season it perfectly with some seasoning powder and salt. For my seasoning powder here, I'm using some bouillon. You can use Maggi cube if you like. Now this is my salt. Don't be wondering like, why is the salt like this? This is how my own salt is. Give that a perfect stir, perfectly, so that each or one of any beef in there gets some of that beautiful seasoning. Now adding some water. I'll be using like 2 to 3 cups because I want to make sure it cooks until some of the water dries off. You don't want a case where like you boil your beef and there's too much water at the end, because you need that remaining, like the remaining dried off gravy to cook your eru with. Cook until tender. This cook for about 15 to 30 minutes because our beef here is not that really hard. Okay, now my spinach comes in. The first important tip to ensure a good green eru is your spinach or your water leaf. They are supposed to be 100% pure green. The second tip is your flame. Your fire is supposed to be scorching hot because the high heat helps to maintain that chlorophyll in the greens. Okay, if you're using low heat, I bet you're not going to achieve that beautiful greenish color. All right, so let that cook until the spinach or the water leaves release a lot of water so that you can use to soften your eru with. Now guys, for my snails here, it has already been pre-cooked. It's not raw. Okay, for my snails, I steeped in hot boiling water overnight for it to come back to this beautiful state or texture the way it's looking right now. This is straight from Cameroon. Okay, another important aspect or another important point to maintain a good green color is our eru. I know sometimes we usually have like already dried dehydrated eru from back home. Sometimes the dried ones we have is already brown. Sorry, if you have already dried brown eru, you're not going to achieve a green color. That's why I am so picky about the ladies who dry my eru. See how mine is so green? What I did is I steeped in cold water 5 minutes before I started cooking. Do not steep it overnight, okay? Do not steep it in warm or like hot water. That warm or hot water makes your eru have a very dark brown color. And I preserve my eru on the shelf. I don't put in the freezer. If you like, you can put in the freezer, that's fine. But the most important thing is, if your eru is brown, your the meal is gonna be brown. That's a tip. I just added in my crayfish and my scotch bonnet. Come in. For your scotch bonnet, you can grind it or you can use the powder one. So I just adjusted with a little bit of salt. So in this recipe, the salt and the seasoning powder we used in cooking our proteins, that's the one which will be used in seasoning all our food. You can just adjust the seasoning as you go. So now our eru and our spinach has been partially cooked. It has been cooking for about 5 minutes. My palm oil comes in. Add enough palm oil as you want and keep adding the palm oil as you go. You know, eru is one food like when you put palm oil, it doesn't really show on it until when you're done cooking and it sits for a while. That's when you see that, oh, I put a lot of oil inside, or oh, I didn't put enough oil. So that's how eru is. Let this cook for another 2 minutes so that the oil you put inside is gonna cook perfectly. So I will just keep stirring this. One tip of making like thick eru is to stir it from time to time so it thickens up and have a good texture. So guys, I hope these tips I gave you guys is gonna help you achieve a good eru color, because whenever I make my eru on Instagram, they always ask, oh, Auntie Chloe, how do you make it to be that so green? So I decided to shoot a detailed video for you guys so you can follow it step by step and you can see it is diaspora friendly. And if you have water leaves, you can use water leaves in place of spinach. Okay, trust me, when you use spinach, it does not alter any taste of the arrow. If you're new in diaspora, try this recipe. Do not be discouraged, because spinach is just the same as water leaf, no taste difference. So guys, on my Instagram page, I shared a video how I was serving this. I will just show you guys after the video how I was serving it.
Cooking with Claudie.
So guys, please follow me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. The name is the same for all, Cooking with Claudie. On Instagram, I post recipes every day. Okay, so please follow me on Instagram. Until we meet again in my next video, bye for now. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hi guys, and welcome back to my kitchen. It's your girl Claudie, and I'm back with another easy, authentic recipe. We are making the best ever spinach stew. To be precise, this is riro, a most enjoyable stew in Nigeria. Trust me, not only Nigeria, but many people enjoy this nowadays. If you're new here, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and smash the like button. Right now, for our proteins, right here, I have some beef. It has already been cured and washed, tripe, and some cow feet. Everything has been perfectly washed, okay? To boil them, I will be using half onion, just dice or you slice that.
Cooking with Claudie. Cooking with Claudie. Easy, simple recipe.
I will be using a pressure cooker to reduce my cooking time. I will boil the tripe and the cow leg at the same time because it takes a longer time to cook. So I will season with some salt, seasoning powder, onion. Go ahead, mix that well, add in some water, and let that cook until it is perfectly tender. If you do not have a pressure pot, you can use your pot, but make sure you check the water from time to time to avoid the pot from burning. Okay, while for my beef, I will just repeat the same process.
Cooking with Claudie. Cooking with Claudie. Easy, simple recipe. African, Asian, American, and worldwide recipes. Pastries and bakes. African, Asian, American, and worldwide recipes. Pastries and bakes. Easy to follow from kids to adults. E go yummy, yummy. E go yummy, yummy. Easy to follow from kids to adults.
Also, I will be using smoked mackerel. I smoked this myself in my oven, and it has a very good and smoky flavor. I used just one ingredients to make it smoky. Actually, I made a video for this, and I'm going to show you how to make smoky flavored dry fish or smoked fish in the oven, whatever you call it, but it is still smoky. Very good smoky flavor. So now go ahead, debone that and cut into chunks.
Ego yummy, yummy. Ego yummy, yummy. Cooking with Claudie. Cooking with Claudie. Easy, simple recipe.
For the rest of the ingredients, I have 1 large onion here and 3 bell peppers. What you want to do, you want to slice that and you want to process that until it is coarse, like it has a coarse texture. Okay, if you do not have a processor, you can use a blender, but make sure you do not blend it until it is smooth. You want the texture to be a little bit rough, if you know what I mean. You don't want it 100% smooth. Okay, so first off, I would now dice my onion and set aside, because we'll have to saute the onions first before bringing in our peppers. So now at this point, you can add in some scotch bonnets or some habaneros, but I won't be using that because my kids do not eat spicy food. So I'll set that aside, and for my spinach right here, I will take out the stalk. If you like the stalk, do not cut it out. You can go ahead and slice all together. So go ahead and slice that. I'll be using about 3 bundles of spinach. If you want the exact recipe, please check my website or the description box. You can also use frozen spinach for this. If you are using frozen spinach, just allow it to thaw, then you squeeze out excess water. You don't need to blanch the frozen spinach, okay? This process goes only for the fresh spinach.
With Clody, cooking with Clody, easy simple recipe.
Now adding boiling water or boiled water, then stir for about 3 to 5 minutes. So guys, in this case, be careful not to make your spinach to overcook, okay? Like your soup or your stew is going to be mushy and very soft, and you are not going to love that. So just stir that, and after stirring for about 3 to 5 minutes, you want you want to drain it. Then you add in cold water to stop the cooking process. Now drain the water and squeeze off excess water. Now in a hot pot, adding some palm oil. Be careful at this point, your oil is not supposed to be bleached, okay? Just hot enough to saute the onions and the rest of the ingredients. Now we are going to start in with our locust beans. You want to bring that inside and let it cook for about a minute. Now bring in the chopped onions and cook until it becomes translucent. Our roughly chopped peppers comes in at this point. Give that a good stir until well combined. The rest of the ingredients, bring in some crayfish, seasoning powder, salt, and give that a good stir. Right now, cover the pot and let it cook until the oil floats or the oil comes to the top. This is going to take roughly about 10 to 15 minutes, yeah. And after that, you can bring in all the proteins, then stir perfectly. Then lastly, the spinach is going to come in. So at this point, you're going to bring in some broth. That's the beef broth or the stock. If you want your soup to have a little bit of like water or more of the gravy, you can add more of your beef stock, okay? So give that a good stir and bring in your spinach later. When the spinach has been perfectly mixed, you can let it simmer again for about 5 minutes, or let me say 3 to 5 minutes, and the soup is ready to be served. So guys, you can serve this with any of your favorite starchy sides, maybe fufu, plantains, or whatsoever, and it can also be eaten as it is, okay? So right now, for the list of the ingredients, check the description box and I'm gonna drop that for you. Also, let me know what you think about this recipe in the comment section, and thank you so much for watching. Until meet again in my next video, bye for now. Hello beautiful people, it's your girl Claudie from cookingwithclaudie.com. Today I will be showing you another method how to make authentic egusi soup. Let's get started. In a pot, you want to start by adding your chicken. For my chicken, I'm using the hard chicken here. You can use soft chicken or whatever proteins you have. First off, season with some salt. You want to bring in some seasoning powder, some onion slices. Go ahead and give that a good stir, and we are going to boil these until it is tender. For my egusi or the melon seeds, I'll go ahead and finely blend these.
Cooking with Clody, easy simple recipe.
Chop some onions and bell peppers.
African, Asian, American and worldwide recipes. Pastries and baked. African, Asian, American and worldwide recipes. Pastries and baked. Easy to follow from kids to adults. Ego yummy yummy. Ego yummy yummy. Easy to follow from kids to adults. Ego yummy yummy. Ego yummy yummy. Cooking with Clody. Cooking with Clody. Easy simple recipe. Cooking with Clody. Cooking with Clody. Easy simple recipe.
Right now, I will go ahead and set this aside. This is the ground egusi. What I will do, I will add in some onion inside. Save some onion to saute, okay? Do not use all of the onions. Right now, adding some salt to taste, and we are gonna be adding some chicken broth. Sorry, not beef, the chicken broth. That's water from the chicken which we just boiled. You want to go ahead and mix that until everything is well combined. This is looking so good at this point. Go ahead and set aside. In a hot pot or pan, add in some palm oil. Let us saute some onions. Add some locust beans. Give that a perfect stir, then let it cook until the onion becomes soft and fragrant, just like this. Now bring in the bell peppers, give another stir and cover until some of the water dries off and the oil flows. Now for our egusi mix, I'll go ahead and scoop that with a spoon and put inside the pot, and we are going to cover the pot so that it hardens a little bit. This is going to take roughly about 5 to 6 minutes. Make sure your heat is low at this point or medium, and after some time, this is how it's looking. Now give that a quick stir.
Cooking with Clody.
Add some chicken broth.
Clody, easy simple recipe. Cooking with Clody. Cooking with Clody, easy simple recipe.
Now bring in the chicken. So guys, at this point, if you like, you can deep fry your chicken, you can air fry it, you can grill it, or you can roast it after boiling. It just depends on how you want yours to be. So for my salt and seasoning powder, my broth already has salt and seasoning powder, but you can adjust that as you go. Now cover that so that our egusi or melon seeds can fully cook, and after it fully cooks, we're just going to garnish with some leafy greens. I'm using kale. You can use spinach or you can use whatever leafy greens you have. You want to give that another good stir. Now I'll bring in some whole pepper. I know you're gonna ask, why did she not ground the pepper? No, I'm just trying to control the spicy level of the soup. So guys, another secret for my egusi soup is I'll put my crayfish towards the end so that it has a very good flavor. If you have never ever tried this trick, you should. And your egusi soup is looking so delicious. You can go ahead and serve right away. Thank you so much for watching. Until we meet again in my next video. Bye for now.